And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
Go ahead and say it, Ed. Go Jags!
When I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
You like that? You like that?
F it. Jamar's down there somewhere.
The New Orleans Saints select Marcus Davenport.
No!
Splash Brothers. Yeah.
It's playoff. Keep going, Brace.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
What is up, guys? Dirty Boot Sports, and we are back with episode number 136. I don't know any type of number for 36.
Nobody wears 36.
We'll go, hey, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Miami.
Holy
Boom.
cow.
136.
Shout out Nick Lang.
That's how you do that. That's how you do that. I saw D-Wade put Steph in his all-time starting five today, so shout out D-Wade. Boom. Big three. What an episode. And we're talking about the AFC South.
Real quick. Their Hall of Fame enshrinement was like the least publicized thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, for like very big names.
Like the biggest of names. Dirk, Pop, D-Wade, Tony Parker. Like,
yeah, pretty big names.
What are we doing?
It's because it's the NBA and everybody gets in.
Well, it is, but still, like, why?
Or Basketball Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Why was it, like, not advertised at all?
Yeah,
it's weird to me. I mean, I like you said, it's not that big of a deal. But
which also,
still,
the baseball one came and went without anyone even knowing. But it was Crime Dog and
Scott Rowland.
Yeah.
Just wait till Andrew gets in.
Yeah, that's not going to get talked about either. Just will in your market.
Thinking in the Hall of Fame stuff, I just like to always think about the NFL and that each player that's nominated and gets to the final stage, they have a person go and represent them in this round table meeting, and they defend and make the argument of why they're a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. And
then Peyton Manning's dude, like a year or two ago, just said, "Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Peyton Manning."
Yeah.
He sat down.
Tom Brady's not just going to.
Tom Brady's not going to have a representative.
No, yeah, he's just
his
in.
name's just going to be on there.
Yeah. But yeah, tonight, episode Big 3 of Miami. We have the AFC South preview. Right back at it with another preview. Just me and Chance tonight again. We're doubling it up. Running out of time, so we got to do as much of this football content as we can. Hoping to do a college football preview show pretty soon. Still got 2 more divisions after tonight for the AFC. Then
do some gambling.
Yeah, that's our next episode, our college football one. We're going to do some college football futures. I'm going to try to find the lowest over that I can. I want to find like a 1.5.
Yeah,
I want to root for that team every week.
Colorado State.
Yeah, I think ULM's actually the lowest team.
That guy behind home plate's wearing the Kansas City Monarchs hat from the Sandlot. It's the exact one the kid wore on the Sandlot.
Yeah, but yeah, the AFC South. We got a couple episodes that we got to do after this, so we're knocking this out tonight. I don't think anybody's stressing over missing this division tonight, so it'll be all right. And then we're going to do our Dirty Five linebackers, our second defensive grouping. As I told Chance right before the show, probably the toughest group we'll do. It's very hard to just like rank linebackers because you can't just go off of tackles, and then you have guys like Blake Martinez or Joe Schobert being the top tacklers. So you got to kind of factor in a couple different things, their coverage, and you also don't get to count guys like Micah Parsons or T.J. Watt, which are listed as linebackers, but they're an edge rusher. So it's very difficult to do this, but I think everybody has a pretty good list. Yeah, I'm ready to get into that later. But first, let me do an ad read. We have Big Reed BBQ. Big Reed BBQ started as a family recipe in 1986. Our mild flavor is right on time, and our spicy is just enough heat. Owner Ken Reed and Director of Marketing Andre Leonard say you can get our sauce at Doug Nimona Farm and Feed, Time to Shine Detail, the Salty Brahma, the Quitman Store, and Amazon. Shout out to Big Reed. Go check out their Facebook page. They put out a very cool video today showing the new distribution method that they've got going on.
And how it's bottled.
Yeah, and how it's bottled. Pretty freaking cool to see. and I don't even want to think about the engineering methods that go behind processing, putting that in the programming to make it do this and that. That is just
my head hurts.
That's some stuff. But yeah, tonight AFC South.
I looked up the college football overs, Clay. I just went through every single one.
Yeah.
The lowest one is 2.5. Never mind, 2. Over 2.
Who is it?
Massachusetts.
Oh, I love the Minutemen. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun episode. We'll have some. I'll have some random pools. I'm sure. Whatever Oregon State is, I'm taking it over. DJ Ugalagali's taking his career back. But yeah, tonight AFC South preview. We got the Texans. We got the Colts. We got the Jags. We got the Titans. What a group! What a group! I think we have one team we have no double-digit over-unders for the wins.
Jaguars are 9.5.
9.5.
I need to write this down before I forget.
It's probably the only division in football that way.
Gotta be. NFC South. No, we're 10.5.
The Saints 10.5?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Crap.
Yeah. So we're possibly talking about the worst division in football, but
there ain't no possible.
At the same time, it feels like the Jags, are they being slept on with that over-under? Well, we'll see their schedule.
Yeah.
First place schedule might be tough as crap.
And it's probably tough for them.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. I haven't even pulled this up yet. AFC South. So, who was worst? Texans? Yeah, because they second overall pick. The Houston Texans. Big thing we got to mention first. New head coach.
D'Amico.
Was it Lovie Smith last year?
Yes.
He gave him a big FU by winning the last game. They did bring in D'Amico Ryans. I like that. I think D'Amico's going to be a good head coach. Feels like he's been right around the bubble for a couple years now.
He fits the Texans. I don't know if that's because he played for him.
Yeah.
But he sounds like the head coach of the Texans.
Yeah, and I'll put it out there now. I
mean that nicely. I'm not saying that
I think
meanly.
the Texans are taking some really good steps in the right direction. And we'll get into that with this episode. So let's talk about it. Why am I hearing buzzing again?
I hope that went on the last episode.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Case Keenum signed him, brought him in to be a backup to C.J. Stroud.
That.
Let's start with the draft first.
Yeah.
With this team, Houston, where we at?
What do you need when you have a young quarterback?
Yeah, vet,
solid vet. They got it.
Let's start with the draft for Houston. C.J. Stroud, number 2 overall. We discussed this trade a couple episodes ago with the NFC West and the Cardinals and all that maneuvering. They'd give up their first next year to make the C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson 2-3 pairing work. Brought in a center from Penn State in the second round, and then Tank Dell from Houston. What is that, third round? Lot of love about him coming out of camp. We actually talked about him a little bit on the latest fantasy episode.
Well, somebody has to catch the football, so.
Hey, Bobby Trees.
Yeah.
But Tank Dell has been shining in camp. Might be a very sneaky pull that you can get in your fantasy drafts whenever you want. Like you said, it's Robert Woods, Nico Collins, John Mechie back from leukemia.
Oh, yeah.
Or lymphoma, good. One of them.
That's basically another draft pick.
Yeah, he's looked well.
Because
pretty well.
Dude, he was good at Bama.
Camp, yeah. And then Tank Dell's in that range with all these guys. Noah Brown, I believe. Henry To'oTo'o, linebacker from Bama. I thought he was pretty good.
Yeah, he dropped in the draft.
Yeah.
I think he's slow.
Maybe so. Good draft from the Texans, though. You get a guy at quarterback that I thought was
the best.
I think he might be the best.
He's got the best arm talent.
He feels like an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
He really does. And then Will Anderson, someone that a year ago everyone said he's that number one, he's that Myles Garrett type of dude where he's going one no matter what the needs are. He's that guy. And, quarterbacks are king, so as they should be. And Panthers end up trading up for a quarterback. And then the Texans got C.J. Stroud at 2, but then they did get Will Anderson at 3 as well. So if you're a Texans fan, you got to be happy. You got arguably the best player in the draft at 3, and then you have a quarterback that you got to be very, very excited for.
Yep.
And then let's get to their additions. So you do get Case Keenum. We just talked about that a little bit. Good veteran, 2-year deal. Come in and just let C.J. Stroud know what it's like to be an NFL quarterback. He's been around the league everywhere. He started games. He started a playoff game. Minnesota. Really good. He was a Minnesota Miracle guy.
He finished off a game with a torn ACL for the Rams.
Yeah. Mike Boone is still in the NFL. That's interesting. Devin Singletary, just talked about him last episode. 1 year, $3 million deal. Noah Brown. Bobby Trees, my guy. 2 year, $15 million deal. Dalton Schultz got him from the Cowboys on a little prove it deal. 1 year, $9 million.
I like Dalton Schultz. If he can stay healthy.
Yeah. Laramie Tunsil, one of the highest paid tackles in the NFL, if not the highest.
Don't skip over Greg Little, former Brown.
Yeah. Laramie Tunsil, though, 3 years, $75 million. Got Shaq Mason from the Bucks, solidifying this offensive line. Got him for what?
Seventh round.
They swapped a 7th and a 6th, and then they signed Mason to a 3-year, $36 million deal.
What do you want to do
move.
whenever you get a young quarterback?
Protect them.
Offensive line, and then a what?
Pass rusher.
Nah, on offense.
Veteran quarterback.
Tight end.
Yeah. Got there.
You finally got there. And they did both, which is what
everything else I said they want to do as well, and they did it all.
Yeah, they did.
They got their safety net with
Who's the pass rusher?
Will Anderson.
Oh crap! I forgot about that. Yeah, I'm looking at the acquisitions right here.
Yeah, they got an elite type pass rusher that's going to grow with Stroud.
Yep.
You got the safety net in Schultz. You've got an elite O tackle with Laramie Tunsil, probably maybe the best in the game. You got Bobby Trees, great run blocking wide receiver, just a very solid vet type of guy that you want around your team. Case Keenum, been around the league as a backup.
They did some good things.
I'm telling you, this team's sneaky. And then look at the defense. Chase Winovich, solid guy, been around the league for a little bit. Sheldon Rankins gave him a Texans contract where we're going to give you 1 year.
We have money.
We're going to overpay you a little bit. You come down here, either you perform and you want to sign back with the Texans, or you perform well enough that you go and get the bag elsewhere.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like
you're going to help us more than you realize.
Yeah, it's a lot of rentals, but
you help us, we help your pockets.
Absolutely. Sheldon Rankins, Saints guy. I mean, we all know him. Went to the Jets last year, I believe. Solid player. Hassan Ridgeway, more depth at D-line. Corey Littleton, Denzel Perryman, good linebackers. Shaquille Griffin. He's a very good starting corner in the NFL.
Prove-it deal, too, so he's probably pissed.
Yeah, another 1-year deal. Tavir Thomas re-signed with them. MJ Stewart gave him a 2-year deal for safety. Jimmy Ward, very good player at safety, signed him.
And then guess what they did, Claude?
Long snapper.
Another one.
Re-signed with the Texans. John Weeks. And then their departures. Where are we at? South. You've got Kyle Allen going to the Bills. We mentioned him. Jeff Driscoll. Brandon Cooks. They traded him to the Cowboys. I don't really know what they got for him. Probably like a 5th or 4th or something. Nothing crazy, I'm sure. O.J. Howard left. Jordan Akins is not a Texan for the first time ever. That feels weird.
He's not going to score a random touchdown this year.
Yes. Or 2. Rasheem Green, Mario Addison, probably retired. Jalen Reeves-Maybin. Not a lot of big names that they lost.
Well, they didn't have. They
weren't very good last year. They weren't. Let's take a look at their depth chart. You do not have C.J. Stroud announced as the starting quarterback yet.
I thought he was.
Nope.
That's not what Schefter said the other day?
Richardson and Young have. Stroud has not. Davis Mills, another guy we haven't mentioned, solid quarterback. I mean, it kind of looked like this was going to be his team for a bit. Didn't really work out, but I mean, it doesn't hurt to have him on your roster.
Can't pass up C.J. Stroud, though.
Absolutely. Running back Dameon Pierce, great season last year. Probably eclipsed 1,000, 939 and 4 touchdowns.
He didn't play every game, I don't think, though.
Yeah, he didn't really get the job till about week 4, probably. Him and Devin Singletary, good running back group. As I mentioned, the receivers Got a lot of
Not
guys
good.
that can step up. It's just if they will. Nico Collins, Noah Brown, Tank Dell, John Mechie, all around Robert Woods. Get one or two of them to work, and it feels pretty good. Dalton Schultz at tight end. Who else do we got? O-line, Laramie Tunsil, left tackle. Already talked about him. Titus Howard, the guy from, Alabama State. Looks like he's been working out pretty well in the NFL. On the other side at right tackle, Shaq Mason, Kenyon Green, very good guard group. And then some guy named Juice Scruggs at center. I like that name.
I have an image. Not what I thought. Never mind.
23 years old from Penn State. Oh, second-round pick. So another
that's
young
the
guy
that
you got.
Yeah.
Boom. So, yeah, if you got Juice Scruggs.
You got to be good if you have that name.
Austin Deculus, fourth string tackle.
Hey.
He was good at LSU. I don't know.
He wasn't good. He just played all the
Yeah,
time.
but he
never
was
got hurt.
good.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah. I like the O-line, like the running backs, like the quarterback, like the tight end. Get a receiver or two to step up like Mechie can, like Tank Dell can, like Robert Woods will. I mean, they can be an underrated offensive unit.
I think Mechie's the guy to watch.
Yeah. Looking at defense, Will Anderson already getting the start, as he should.
As he should, yeah. He's a guarantee.
Yeah.
Over under 9.5.
Sacks?
Yep.
I think it'd be pretty freaking close. Double digits is hard. I'll probably take the under, but I think 8 or 9 feels pretty good this
Would
year.
you be shocked if he got 10?
Who are the tackles in his division? Is Cam Robinson still in Jacksonville?
Taylor Lewan retired.
Yeah,
Cam Robinson.
Did Lewan
suspended.
retire? I think he just hasn't signed.
No, he's retired unless somebody really wants him. And I think he's retired.
He's retired till November.
Yeah.
We'll
take him in New Orleans.
Yeah, why not? I don't know the Colts O tackle, Braden Smith.
It's doable.
Yeah, I would say so. We'll see with that schedule in a minute. Malik Collins, Sheldon Rankins at tackle, Roy Lopez, more depth, Hassan Ridgeway, Jonathan Greenard, Jerry Hughes, been around the league for a while, former Bills Mafia.
Familiar.
Bills Mafia. Chase Winovich, third string. I mean, if he's your third string, you feel pretty good about your D-line here. Christian Harris, Bama guy. Denzel Perryman, Henry Toa, as we mentioned.
Bama.
Corey Littleton. Christian Kirksey, still hanging around the league. Blake Cashman. D'Amico Ryan knows what he wants at linebacker. Feels like he's got some guys that feel good.
You're not worried about them. I don't think you're going to have to be worried about the defense, honestly.
I like this defense, I'm telling you.
I think you got to look at wide receiver.
Yeah, the cornerback group is very good.
Talented.
Very good. Derek Stingley, Steven Nelson, very good starting cornerback group. And then you got probably the best slot corner in the NFL, Desmond King. Mm-hmm. Shaquille Griffin's your 4.
Shaquille's there to
Shaquille's
help
a starter.
Stingley.
Yeah, Shaquille's a starter, and he's your 4. Yeah. And then Tavier Thomas at the back, another solid depth cornerback that's been around the league for a while. And then Jimmy Ward and Jalen Petrie, very good safeties. And then MJ Stewart, Eric Murray. The defense is talented. The thing about the defense is they don't have Nick Bosa. They don't have Aaron Donald.
Well, they got Will Anderson.
Yeah, they don't have like that one guy or that big name. Like even like with Jacksonville, like they don't have Jalen Ramsey, but they have a lot of average to above average type of guys, and they have multiple of them at the positions. Like they have the depth where they're never going to be tired. If someone goes down, they've got another man to pick them up. This team's sneaky. It really is. Kaami Fairbairn at tight end and at kicker as well. Solid kicker. Been around the league for a little bit now. Let's see. Looking at the schedule. Their over-under wins is 6.5. We'll see if we can figure out why. At Baltimore week 1, L. What is that noise?
Somebody driving by.
Versus the Colts. At Jacksonville. Versus Pittsburgh. At Atlanta. Versus New Orleans. They could sneak out 2 or 3 wins before their bye.
Very easily.
I mean, Indy, Jacksonville, Pittsburgh, Atlanta, New Orleans. Yeah, we think the Saints and the Jags are going to be pretty good.
We don't know that.
I mean, would it shock anybody if they beat any of them early on?
And then look at the 2 games after the bye week.
Yeah, and then after your bye week, you have Carolina and Tampa.
They complete the
And
NFC
then-
South
well,
in 5 weeks.
Then you play Cincy. Then you play Arizona. They might have 4 or 5 wins by week 11.
That's why they're over under 6.5, Clay.
And let's see what the end is. They hadn't played Tennessee yet.
Oh, dear Lord.
They play oh my God. And none of these are in London.
Hammer it.
Every game's at 12 o'clock besides Denver. It is a rookie quarterback, but still, we think he's going to be solid. Rookie head coach as well. Arizona, Jacksonville, and Denver, 3 straight, end of November. I mean, I think that those are all winnable games. Then at the Jets, week 14, at Tennessee versus Cleveland versus Tennessee, at the Colts. What guaranteed losses are there? At Cincy?
Baltimore.
And at Baltimore? Is that it? Do the Texans have 2 guaranteed losses?
I think that's it.
And at the Jets, maybe?
At that point in the season, probably.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers locked in week 14, probably fighting for a playoff spot.
Cold weather. Houston playing in cold weather.
I mean, are we crazy? Yeah, maybe. But it is the Texans, but
We also like C.J. Stroud a lot.
we like C.J. Stroud.
Not
we like D'Amico Ryans.
Not 100% sure on the receivers, but
Who's their
coordinator?
I was just about to say that.
that will tell me if it's possible or not.
Yeah, I don't really know who their OC is.
I know nothing about their coaching staff.
Uh-oh. Look at this guy.
Oh, yes.
Bobby Slowick.
Oh, yeah. He's a grinder.
6 seasons with the Niners. Passing game coordinator, passing game specialist, offensive assistant.
Pass. I like hearing that.
He's been learning with Kyle Shanahan. Where was he at before the Niners? Before the Niners, he's with the Commanders. He's a Shanahan guy.
Okay, yeah, it's going to happen. Put it on the fridge, over 6.5.
Hold up, is there DC from San Francisco as well?
I don't know. He looks like he saw a freaking ghost.
The DC was
Cardinals.
the Cardinals D-line coach last year. Been with the Jets. Been
It
with the
doesn't matter.
Eagles. Yeah,
It
but
ain't
yeah.
gonna
You know who
matter.
their DC is.
Look at him. He looks like he saw a ghost.
Their DC's D'Amico.
Yes.
Who else did they got out here?
I want D'Amico to do well so bad.
I do too. Ben McDaniels. That's a good name. Chris Kiffin.
Better name is Bill Lazor.
Senior offensive assistant. Heck yes.
He looks like he's 40.
Jake Olson. That's not the blind guy, is it?
That's exactly.
Isn't that his name?
That's why they signed a new long snapper. He's a long snapper coach.
An assistant to the coaches. It feels like the type of position you give a blind guy. Isn't that his name?
Yeah, oh, it's definitely that. Just look up blind long snapper.
Yeah, it's Jake Olson.
Well,
Is
that's
that
not.
him?
That's no Clay. It's not.
Is it?
I-
Okay, it's not.
All right, he's. I'm gonna stop talking for I offense.
Cole Popovich.
Gotta be related.
Got to be related to Greg. I'm hammering that over. Give me 7 wins.
Put it on the fridge.
Give me
I'm
7
not even
wins.
joking.
Where we at? Where's the notepad? Here it is. I'm in on the Texans. I like it. Houston, baby. So far, if you're not in with me on this one, but also have the Bucks getting 7+ wins.
Yeah,
So-
do not put me with that, please.
So I'm going Bucks and Texans 7+ wins. While we're going Packers under 7 wins. We got it going over here. All right, let's move on to our next team. Let's see. The Colts, I guess, they had the next worst record. What was their draft? Oh, Anthony Richardson. How about that? I forgot.
How could you forget about the guy you're the most high on?
Yeah. Anthony Richardson, was my QB1. I went Richardson, Stroud, Young. I'm sure that will age perfectly fine. Anthony Richardson, though, looks like he's doing everything that people doubted. Like, it felt like he was the guy that needed a year.
Yeah, and they announced him before just about anybody, huh?
Yeah, and he goes to the Colts where he doesn't feel like a Colts kind of quarterback. Maybe because he's not white and mobile, but he still doesn't feel like a Colts player. Maybe the culture's changing. Is it Steichen? That's the guy up there now. Or is that in Arizona?
I don't know. It ain't gonna matter. They got the Eagles OC, huh?
That's what I'm saying. Is it Steichen?
I don't know his name. I think that might be it. It has a CH.
Shane Steichen?
Yeah, it's not spelled like Steichen. Yeah.
It's him. Who's I forget the Cardinals' name.
It's a defensive guy. It was stupid.
Yeah.
He won't be there after this year.
But Anthony Richardson performed like really well in camp, got the starting job, something no one expected. I know we talked about it on the pod for the Chasing the Trophy with Derek. He was talking about how he was kind of excited to see Gardner Minshew go to a place where it seems like he could play. So I think everybody likes Gardner.
Oh yeah,
and
he gained a cult following.
He kind of got screwed over in Jacksonville, you would almost say. You know?
Yeah.
It felt like he was the kind of guy that almost Davis Mills. But but Davis Mills had an extra year.
Yeah,
Gardner had that year, and then here's Trevor Lawrence. Like, we have to do this.
Sorry, but yeah, we got.
Yeah. And now it's here's Anthony Richardson. We've got to do this. They also got Josh Downs from UNC, wide receiver, very talented. I think he's going to be very sneaky and good this year. Evan Hull, running back from Northwestern. Heard something about him. Wagner Edge. Okay. Drafting a guy from Wagner named Titus Leo. Probably great. Let's look at their additions. As we said, Gardner Minshew. Fully guaranteed 1 year, $3.5 million. Isaiah McKenzie.
Don't skip over Pharaoh
Brown, yeah.
South Carolina wide receiver legend, now a tight end.
Taven Bryan, Florida, first-round pick from the Jags. Samson Ebukam, that's actually a good pick up right there. 3 years, $27 million. Edge rusher. Tyquan Lewis. Matt Gay, signed him to a big deal from the Rams.
Best kicker in football.
4 years, $22 million. Not a lot of additions there. There are subtractions. Lost Nick Foles, Matt Ryan, Paris Campbell, Yannick Ngakoue, who finally got picked up by
Eagles.
Bears.
Oh, Bears. That's right. Same thing.
Matt Pryor, Dennis Kelly at the O-line, Bobby Okereke. That's a big loss. You did lose him to the Giants. He was one of their better linebackers.
He got paid big.
Stephon Gilmore went to the Cowboys, but he didn't really want to be there.
Now.
And he's kind of getting old. Not a lot that they lost or added, but I think they were kind of banged up at positions last year. I know Shaq Leonard wasn't very healthy, so adding him by subtraction.
He was really hurt last year, I think.
Yeah.
Plus they suck, so they didn't really want to hurt him worse.
Looking at their depth chart, Anthony Richardson, quarterback, 1. Pretty crazy to think about that, but you got to be excited. Hopefully they don't screw it up by giving them 6 weeks and benching them or anything. Hopefully they give them the full year, let them work it out.
I don't think you name him starting quarterback this early if you're not fully bought in.
Yeah, I agree. And with the team, I don't think anybody's expecting wins out of them.
No, you're wanting to see strides.
Yeah, and I don't think
they're over under.
I don't think they'll be upset.
They're also 6.5.
Yeah, we'll see what that schedule looks like. But let's see. Jonathan Taylor, running back.
Do you think he's going to hold out?
Apparently, he went back today, and then he had a family matter.
Yeah, they said it was excused.
Yeah,
they made sure to put that out there, so that makes me feel like it's legit.
Oh yeah. I don't know how that's going to play out. No one does. I feel like he's going to play.
Do you think he'll?
I mean, what running back has not played? Le'Veon?
Exactly. That's the only one. That's the only one. And you saw what happened to his career.
Exactly. He was gone in 2 years. I mean,
If he does, I don't think he'll take it long into the season, the holdout.
Yeah, maybe a week or two.
Yeah,
and then Irsay's like, you know what, screw it, come on.
Yeah, he'll give in because he'll see Zach Moss running the football.
Yeah, or Evan Hull
or Deion Jackson. They don't have Naheem Hines or none of them no more.
Deion Jackson had a good couple games last year. I played him in fantasy. Yeah, where's that stat line at? Where was it? Oh, ended the year 35 yards and 75 receiving, 55 rushing, 62 and 29, 42 and 79 on 10 catches. Yeah, look at that. Good look at that. Deion Jackson. Wide receiver, you got Michael Pittman Jr.
Good year last year.
Yeah, finally took a step that it felt like he needed. I think I have him on my sleepers for wide receivers. Yeah, I do. Check out the Fantasy Pod yet again. Alec Pierce, underrated kind of guy. He's white.
Flashes
he's
last
white
year.
but not short.
Yeah, he's a he's a
6'3".
possession white guy.
Yeah, he's like 6'3". I guess Adam Thielen.
Yeah, but bigger.
And a second-round pick. Wow.
Yeah, who would have thought
Never knew that. Never knew that.
Hey, Tucker Davidson, old friend.
Huh.
Dude, he sucks.
Isaiah McKenzie, your speed guy, because the other two surely aren't. Josh Downs, as I mentioned, I think he's going to be very good.
He'll have the opportunity.
Rashard Perryman down
Tell
there.
me who Ashton Doolin is and why do I know him?
He's been a Colt. Can't tell you where he went to college.
Look at how
Malone. Look at that name.
Why do I know him?
Because he's been a Colt.
Yeah, I guess
for
so.
4 years.
Go back to the depth chart. Look how this dude spells Vincent.
Where?
Michael Pittman's line. Very in fourth string.
Oh, wow. V-Y.
V-Y-N.
From Limestone. Where are these receivers?
V-Y-N-C-I-N-T.
Vincent. It's like Zen.
The tobacco pouches.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Moving on. Wide receivers, nothing great, but
I've never heard their starting tight end.
Yep. Don't know their starting tight end, but I know their next two. I know Mo Alley Cox and Jelani Woods. Who is Kylan Granson? Got to be a rookie. Nope. Fourth-year guy from SMU. No idea who you are. Jelani Woods, though, freak of an athlete, kind of like a Isaiah Likely kind of guy. Very big and physical and like runs like a 4.5 or something. Speaking of, we were talking about the left tackle. Do you know who Bernhard Rayman is?
Nope.
Me either.
That's 2 sacks for Will Anderson.
Second-year guy out of Central Michigan. Will Anderson will get a sack that week. Quentin Nelson, elite guard, one of the best in the NFL, if not the best. Ryan Kelly's still hanging around. Some guy named Will Fries. And then Braden Smith, good right tackle. O-line isn't what it used to be, but it's still going to be good. Obviously, when you have Quentin Nelson. Hey, Quentin Nelson might play tackle and guard. Who knows?
Yeah.
He'll take the left side by himself.
If I'm going to have a bad offensive lineman, I want him to be beside Quentin Nelson.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at the defense, Kwity Paye, very good edge rusher. Was he last year or year before?
I'm sure not going to know.
Yeah, it's his third year from Michigan. Tyquan Lewis, Jannard Avery, Browns legend. DeForest Buckner at D tackle, very, very good interior D lineman. Grover Stewart, kind of underrated. Taking a shot on Taven Bryan, first-round guy out of Florida that's been in Jacksonville. Never panned out, but maybe a change of scenery will help him out. And then Samson Ebukam, they don't even have him starting behind a name I'm not going to pronounce.
Dayo Odeyingbo.
Odeyingbo, yeah, that one. Yeah. Ebukam, who they paid 3 years, $27 million. They're not going to start him. Yeah, we'll see about that. Some guy named E.J. Speed at linebacker, probably great, from Tarleton State. There we go.
Gotta be good.
Then Shaq Leonard, as we mentioned, if he can stay healthy, one of the better linebackers. Do what?
They moved him to middle linebacker.
Yeah. And then Zaire Franklin, solid linebacking core. It's all going to rely on the health of Shaq Leonard. As we all know, that rookie year was incredible. And it feels like ever since he changed his name to Shaquille, he got worse.
Yeah, I mean, and he got hurt more.
Yeah, yeah. Secondary, not great. Kenny Moore, kind of an undersized guy that doesn't really need to be a CB1. Juju Brents, don't know who that is. Probably got to be a young guy. Indeed, he is. Second-round rookie. Julian Blackman, really good safety.
Let's say he's good, though.
I like Julian Blackman. Just signed Ronnie Harrison the other day, former Browns guy.
That'll help. Probably your slot guy, huh?
Yeah, and he can probably be like that sub linebacker kind of in the box safety.
He'll play football.
Yeah, yeah. Then you got Matt Gay at kicker in a dome. Probably have a great year.
No more Rodrigo.
Yeah, yeah. Gave up on him. But they did keep Rigoberto.
Sanchez, he's like the best punter in the league.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing.
Secondary,
have the best punter.
yeah, secondary not great, but it's got potential and it's got some pieces. I mean,
that makes C.J. Stroud look more and more better.
Absolutely.
And touchdown Jesus.
The defense pretty much goes as far as Buckner and Shaq Leonard take them, but we'll see if they can stay healthy. Let's take a look at their schedule real quick. You start with the Jags. Then you go to Houston for an L. Then you go to Baltimore versus the Rams versus the Titans at Jacksonville versus Cleveland. Yeah, they finished Jacksonville week 6 versus Cleveland versus New Orleans. A lot of home games, it feels like. Then versus Carolina, and then versus New England in, was that Germany? Where to look at that? Yeah. Versus New England in Germany. So week 11 bye. What do we think in the first 10?
Definitely going to lose to Baltimore. Los Angeles, probably.
I just straight up like the Texans roster more.
Yeah.
And you think Stroud's going to be a little bit better than Richardson early on.
Just going off of college.
And well, I would say weapons, but his weapons aren't really better. Michael Pittman's better, but
does Jonathan Taylor play?
Yeah, that's a big factor. I mean, if Jonathan Taylor misses the first 2 weeks, which are 2 kind of winnable games, Jacksonville and Houston, that really might determine their season.
If I'm the Colts, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of irritated that I'm playing 4 of my 8 division games, or not 4 of my 6 division games
in the first 6 weeks.
First 6 weeks of the season.
It's kind of crazy.
That would piss me off greatly.
Yeah.
And then after your bye, you get 2.
Yeah, and one of them's week 18.
Yeah.
After
That's
your
the big
bye
thing
week,
I notice.
Yeah. After your bye week versus Tampa, at Tennessee, at Cincinnati, versus Pittsburgh on a to-be-decided time. That's weird. At Atlanta versus Vegas versus Houston. Every one of them games is winnable, you would say, besides Cincinnati.
Umpire just overthrew the pitcher again. That's the second time it's happened in this inning.
He's pissed. Their schedule isn't tough. Third place schedule, so it's not gonna be, and it's just they don't have the guys.
They don't. They ain't got the names.
No. They don't have those guys on a prove it deal. Like I don't know.
And then your best player doesn't
might not
want to play.
Yeah.
You know, that
and he's
that
also a
never
running back
helps.
that has had injury issues as well. So if he does play,
he's I agree with him wanting to hold out.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, I don't know about this. Who's their OC? Let's take a peep at that. Because they did bring in a new coaching staff. Their OC was probably the head coach. I'm assuming he's going to be calling plays. Steichen. Let's see. Yeah, they did bring in Shane Steichen. Gus Bradley, defensive coordinator. Jim Bob Cooter.
Oh, my God.
He is still here. Offensive coordinator. No, Jim Bob.
He's so old, he coached Andrew Luck.
This man, he coached Peyton Manning.
Yeah, he did.
Wow. All right. Yeah, Jim Bob. He's the passing game coordinator for the Jags last year. There we go.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, definitely.
And I like bringing in Gus Bradley for a first-year head coach.
Yeah, 34 years of experience. Wow.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Where was he
here?
at last year, Clay?
Gus Bradley? I feel like he's always in Jacksonville.
That was my guess.
Has he ever been in Jacksonville?
No,
he
was
with the Colts.
Huh. Yeah, because he took over once old dude got fired, Frank Reich.
Has Gus Bradley never been in Jacksonville? Why do I think he's a Jacksonville guy?
Not Frank Reich. It's Jeff Saturday.
Gus Bradley was Chargers. That's what it was.
He wasn't the head coach of the Jaguars?
I feel like he is. I can't find it, though.
He definitely was, Clay. I'm
here it is. Thank you.
borderline positive.
2013
he was with
to
the
16.
Seahawks and then went to them.
Yeah, okay. And I'm glad I wasn't insane.
No, he left. He left after the second Super Bowl run. Dan Quinn left after the first one.
Anybody else random down here that Tony Sperano?
Reggie Wayne.
Is that the son?
Absolutely. Look at him.
Yeah, Reggie Wayne, wide receivers coach. So that lack of experience with some of those guys, Josh Downs, maybe they'll take a step up.
Not to sound like a jerk, but how much can you coach a wide receiver?
Are you doubting Reggie Wayne?
How much can you coach a wide receiver?
Are you doubting Reggie Wayne? You have a Reggie Wayne jersey, right? Or you have Marvin?
I have Peyton and a die.
I thought you had a Marvin or a Reggie.
Peyton and a die.
Yeah, Colts. I'm not expecting much here.
I'd give them the under.
I'll go the under. I don't really know why, but
I could see growing pains with Richardson.
Yeah, you definitely
When's their
expect
bye
that.
week?
Bye week is 10. After 4 division games.
That's a good bye week for him, at least.
It is, but 4 division games early, as you mentioned, that's going to be tough on him.
Yeah.
Especially 2 against Jacksonville. You don't think they're going to win either of those.
You don't.
What's the stat with them in Jacksonville? Haven't the Colts won in Jacksonville like the past 10 times or something?
Probably. And they've had a new starting quarterback for the past 9 seasons for week 1.
Oh no, maybe it's that they lose in Jacksonville every time they go. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, because the Jags have sucked and the Colts haven't. Yep. They haven't won in Jacksonville since, my God, they're still going. They lost 6-0 in 2018. They're still going. 2015 still going.
They got beat 51-16 in 2015.
2014, 44-17.
So 10 years.
Andrew
almost.
Luck and Ahmad Bradshaw and Trent Richardson and Reggie Wayne.
Ahmad Bradshaw. That was after the Giants Super Bowl
Yeah,
runs.
what a group.
That dude got paid from that run.
What a group. So yeah, they're not gonna beat Jacksonville. I'll tell you that.
Nope.
All right, let's move on.
Well, I don't know. They brought back Reggie Wayne. Maybe that's what they needed.
Yeah, that's it. Who's next? Titans? Yeah. Titans. Additions. Not much again. Wow. Andre Dillard, signed him to a 3-year, $29 million deal for tackle. I believe he'd been sitting in Philadelphia for a couple years. First-round draft pick, I believe, out of, I don't know, not even going to guess. Arden Key brought him on defense, 3 years, $21 million. Shout out LSU.
Yes, sir.
Sean Murphy-Bunting, 1-year deal from Tampa. I like him a lot as a player. Kind of a prove-it deal. That can be a very good steal for them. Tennessee draft.
No. They signed somebody else. Go back up.
Azeez Al-Shahir?
Nope.
Morgan Cox, freaking long snapper.
They signed
to a 1-year deal.
Snapper.
Not a 4-year deal, a 1-year deal for their long snapper. So he's a prove-it deal.
Dude, this has to be a record.
It's a prove-it deal for their long snapper.
Has to be a record.
What is that going to look like? Looking at the draft, they did get Peter Skoronski from Northwestern. Feels like that was a bit of a steal out of them, I would say. I think most people expected him to go a little bit higher, maybe even as the first tackle out of the draft. But they did get him at number 11. You got to be happy with that if you're a Titans fan. Then
the head scratcher.
Well, they traded up to the top pick of day 2 and took Will Levis.
Who is
and he's the third
boo-boo?
string. He's the third string behind Malik Willis.
Who they drafted last year.
Yeah. I don't really know. And I don't
Titans
think
don't know.
even if their plan is to move off of Tannehill after this year, after next year, I don't know if anyone really expects Will Levis or Malik Willis to be that kind of guy. I mean, there was a lot of hype about Levis coming into this year, but
After you saw him play in college this past season, it kind of went bye-bye.
yeah. Well, I mean, people still expected him to go top 15.
Well, yeah, because he's a quarterback.
Yeah.
And he has the body.
Good pick out of Tulane, though, Tajay Spears.
Spears is
very
gonna help
good,
them a
very
lot.
good back. We'll see if he even gets to play because they don't like giving the ball to anyone besides Derrick Henry. Looking at the subtractions. Joshua Dobbs, my God, they lost a lot. Oh, my God.
You had to zoom out. Ben Jones finally called it quits.
Did lose Bobby Trees to the Texans. That'll
Chris
be devastating
Conley.
for them.
Chris
Conley.
Conley's a guy I'm shocked has not panned out in the NFL.
How long
He
has
was
he been
so
in the
good
NFL?
at
Like
Georgia.
10 years?
It's been a while.
He was on Madden 25 with the Chiefs.
Yeah, he was. Dude, he was so good at Georgia, though.
Yeah.
Like,
Austin Hooper lost him. Taylor Lewan, we mentioned that. Nate Davis to the Bears.
it's about falling off a cliff. Austin Hooper.
Yeah.
He fell off a big cliff.
He went to Cleveland to be tight end, too. So.
Yeah.
Bud Dupree, Mario Edwards Jr., DeMarcus Walker, Zach Cunningham, David Long,
Dude, they had so many freaking people leave.
Terrell Basham, Lonnie Johnson Jr., Terrence Mitchell. Wow, Fat Randy.
Let me ask you something. How is it mathematically possible you lost this many freaking people and you added like 4
I
and
don't
you drafted 5?
undrafted free agents.
That's crazy.
Because remember the Rams?
Yeah.
They had like 3 people, but they have like 50 rookies in at training camp.
So they just want to lose, it seems like.
Who, the Titans?
Yeah, they must want to lose.
Yeah, pretty much. Looking at the depth chart.
Kyle Phillips. Who are you?
Oh, that's the white guy.
Kyle Phillips, wide receiver 3.
That's the white guy, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, dude, look at that strain in his neck when he's smiling. Oh, that's hard to look at.
White guy of UCLA. Wow. Tannehill, Malik Willis, Will Levis. What a quarterback room you got there. But this team goes as far as Derrick Henry takes them. We'll see how that works. Tajay Spears, Hassan Haskins, both solid backups behind him. One addition we did not mention because it wasn't on the old article. DeAndre Hopkins did sign with the Titans. Why? Who knows? Treylon Burks. What?
Money.
Yeah, he did get paid.
They
Treylon
offered him
Burks.
the most, I guarantee you.
Yeah, Treylon Burks got hurt today. Looks like he might miss a week or 2.
Really?
Like as in week 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, hurt like a MCL or something like that.
Probably a strain.
Yeah,
That's
some type of
generally
strain.
a 4-week deal.
Kyle Phillips looks like he's going to take the step up to wide receiver 2.
Racey McMath.
Yeah.
Couldn't play at LSU.
At all.
But he's about to be getting Sunday snaps for the Titans.
Heck yeah. Andre Dillard starting their tackle now. Their right tackle was suspended.
Nicholas Petit-Free.
Yeah. Skoronski's going to be starting at guard. He might have to start at right tackle if this guy's suspended. O-line isn't great. Offense isn't great. Defense, Jeffrey Simmons, stud. Danico Autry, very good player. Harold Landry, kind of taking the step. Very good edge rusher. Him and Arden Key, I like that duo. Jack Gibbons, don't know who you are. Sean Murphy-Bunting, Christian Fulton, Caleb Farley. I like that cornerback trio. Kevin Byard, very good safety, very underrated. Could make that top 5 that we do later on. Amani Hooker, been around the league a little bit. I like that pickup. Elijah Molden as well, solid backup defensive back.
Defense is the strength.
And who's their head coach?
Mike Vrabel.
Defense is going to be good. Defense is going to keep them in games.
Do you think he's on the hot seat?
It'd be insane if he is. Let's fire Dennis Allen right now.
I'm telling you.
Bring in Vrabel, please.
Vrabel is what Dennis Allen hopes to be as a defensive-minded head coach.
Yeah, Vrabel wins games because of his defense as a head coach. And also, whenever you have Mike Vrabel and a great defense, you also have a running game that, whenever it's on the top of its game, is second to none.
The thing, though, with Vrabel is, like, with the reason I asked about the hot seat they
might need a fresh start.
They might need a fresh start, and is he going to want to go through a rebuild?
Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
kind of like Frank Wright.
Yeah, who wants to go through that? It's nothing against Frank. It was nothing against Frank Wright.
Yeah,
nothing against Vrabel. That's just not what he's going to want to do.
And maybe time has run its course.
Like Pete Carroll's the next one.
Yeah.
Like whenever Geno finally falls off the cliff again, he's not going to want to go through a rebuild. You wouldn't think. He's too old.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that's something to think about, I think, right there with them.
Yeah, and like with Reich, he got to go to this new situation and be the guy that built it up. He didn't have to. Yeah. It's different going to Carolina and starting fresh with this young team rather than staying in Indianapolis and
having
starting fresh with the same team.
Yeah, having the highs and going down
the
lows.
I mean, with the Tennessee, they've already experienced playoff football, beating the Patriots, like winning playoff games.
Best
with
Vrabel.
Yeah, with Vrabel, it's different for him to also blow it up and stay there. That's something you don't see.
Because I think he relies upon building a good roster and having his type of guys.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure not. I doubt most NFL players will want to listen to Vrabel on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I think it takes a special clientele.
I like Vrabel a lot, though. I'd call him a top 5 head coach. But at the same time, I could see where.
Hey, are we doing that this year?
Top 5 head coaches?
Yeah, Dirty 5.
We did it with Blank, and we need to try to get Blank on.
Yeah,
I've got a time in the schedule. I think I'm gonna try to get him in. Maybe August, end of August or something like that. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, Vrabel's a great coach. You think that it's almost like the Belichick effect, where you don't want to fully count them out of games, no matter how bad of a roster they have. Just because you know that
it's
defense
possible.
is going to be solid. Derrick Henry might just drain you, and Tannehill isn't that bad. Now you add in Hopkins, Treylon Burks. Like, it's weird. They open up.
That's a bad first 6.
It is. At the Hoodats in New Orleans.
L.
Yeah, because the Saints are so good at week 1. Or we're probably on a 2-game winning streak.
We'll
of
have
week 1.
something to cheer about. You got your quarterback. The fans are going to be rocking.
That's true. That is true. Versus the Chargers. The Chargers are such a weird team. I'm ready to dive into them. Because it feels like we don't really know how to classify
They're
those
the
games.
biggest. We have no ideas.
Well, no, but at the same time, Staley's fighting for his job. Kellen Moore's fighting for his career. Like, they could also be.
Kellen Moore is trying to figure out or prove that he needs to be a head coach.
Yeah, they could be a team that everybody is like so locked in on trying to succeed this year that it just all clicks.
Yeah,
and I don't think anybody would be shocked at the talent because I mean they're a freaking they're a top 5 roster every year. Can't wait to talk about them. I think that might be next week. Then at Cleveland versus Cincinnati, at Indianapolis versus Baltimore in. Is that the Italy game? That's London again.
There's no Italy.
There's no Italy game.
I made that up. I don't know how. I don't know how I made that up, dude.
Bye week 7.
Clay, they could be 0-6. in my honest heart.
Well, they have 3 road games and a London game. Their 2 home games are the Chargers and the Bengals.
0-6. It is so possible.
But they could beat New Orleans. They could beat the Chargers.
They could be 0-6 or 4-2
or 3-0. They could start 3-0.
They could. They could be 0-6 or 4-2.
Feels like they have the Bengals number. It feels like they always play them pretty tight.
And they're not going to have Joe Burrow probably.
Yeah, they could be 0-6 or 4-2.
It's that extreme.
And then week 7 bye week, that might be whenever you start saying, "Hey, DeAndre, you want to go play somewhere else for a contender?"
Or you
or we're trading for more
because you're not being able to rest Henry later in the season.
That is true. Let's see what this back
half
is.
They need a late bye week badly.
This back half schedule.
Okay, the first 3 after the bye are better.
Yeah, versus Atlanta, at Pitt, but it is true, at Pitt, at Tampa, at Jacksonville. So you probably won't leave Tampa or You'll probably just stay in Florida for 2 weeks. Then you get. You don't think so?
It's like a 2-hour flight, dude. No.
Yeah, I mean, just stay acclimated to the weather. humidity.
It's November.
It's Florida.
True. True.
Versus Carolina versus Indy. I mean, you open up with 6 games that you could win.
You can go from 0-6 to 6-6.
The Titans might be in their first 13 games. They might win
12.
8. They could be 8 and 4 in the first 12. It wouldn't shock me. Or they could be 4-8 or 2-10.
Why is their schedule so bad?
It's weird. And then at Miami versus Houston. So, yeah, we haven't even played Houston yet, who is going to win the division.
That logo alone is telling you that they're not good.
What?
Houston. I mean, you look at Houston, you automatically think loss for them.
Yeah, but they're going to win the division.
Yeah, they're definitely going to win.
Versus Houston versus Seattle, at Houston versus Jacksonville. So on the flip side of what we talked about with the Colts, getting 6 division games in their first 6, the Titans have 4 in their last 6.
Which is what you would want.
Yeah. I mean, their first division game isn't until week 5.
Yeah.
They have 1 division game before week 11. That's crazy.
It just seems so unfair.
And they're probably the team that wants them early with Derrick Henry.
Absolutely. Because there's really nothing that's changed from them.
No.
They're the team that's coming back, normal besides the Jags.
Yeah.
And you got the 2 rookie quarterbacks playing freaking all the division teams right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, it makes no sense.
What are we thinking? What's over under?
7.5.
That's so tough. They could get 8.
Dude, they could win 12 games.
Yeah. They could get 8 wins. Or they get 4.
Vrabel could quit.
Yeah.
Not even get fired. He could just quit week 11 if he wanted.
If I had to pick one side, I would go under.
Yeah.
And another thing we got to mention,
it's Ryan Tannehill.
When does Derrick Henry get hurt?
Oh, it's a guarantee.
It's got to happen sometime, right?
All right, when's he going to get injured?
Yes. Yeah, when's he going to miss 4 weeks?
He gets hurt all the time.
He gets hurt and plays through it.
Yeah.
When's he going to miss 4 weeks?
When's he going to tear a pec?
Yeah, something.
Or pop a hammy.
Lifting too much weight.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a shot.
That's gone.
Tying it up down 1 now. Our last team, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Another team that did not make many additions, it looks like.
Yeah, they did.
They
made one huge one.
Hold up. Oh, last year.
Calvin Ridley, baby. Top 10 wide receiver after this year.
Yeah, you got to mention him. They traded for him at the deadline last year. Very sneaky move. I don't even know what they gave up, but it's going to be worth it.
He's wearing 0, huh?
Yes.
Thank God he looked good in it.
Re-signed C.J. Beathard. Brought in Dearness Johnson, Browns legend. Needs an opportunity. Give him the ball. He'll make it work. Evan Ingram, they gave him an actual deal, didn't they?
Yes.
Very good year last year for Evan Ingram.
Gosh, he looked good, man.
Everybody else, they brought in just some depth pieces. Adam Gostis, Roy Robertson-Harris.
That's a name.
3 years, $30 million. That's a lot. Andrew Wingard, very good safety. 3 years, brought him back. Let's look at their draft.
Oh, that's a lot of picks.
Yeah. Anton Harrison, he was one of them guys that felt like he could have been in the first round, or he could have fell out. He wasn't in that top 3 or 4 tackles, but with a tackle needy team like the Jags, they made the reach. Penn State tight end, Strange. He was one of them guys that in that elite tight end group. If you didn't leave the draft with a tight end, you made a mistake. Tank Bigsby looks like he's performing really well in camp. Looks to seem like he has that goal line.
That's what they need to play opposite of Etienne.
Yes, he's the
Thunder.
Yes, that's what we've talked about so much. He's the Thunder.
It's the perfect analogy.
Yeah,
though.
Thunder and Lightning. Because Etienne is definitely the Lightning. Any big names they brought in that I know of down here? A lot of big schools. I mean, you draft from Oklahoma.
They drafted all Power Fives.
Oklahoma, Penn State, Auburn, Florida, OK State, Louisville, A&M, Penn State, Rutgers, Pittsburgh, Appalachian State, a fullback from Houston.
Probably the number 1 ranked fullback.
Yeah, that's a good approach though. If you don't know what you're doing, just grab a guy from a Power 5 school and try to figure him out.
Homeboy's catcher was almost on the dirt of the mound. He was about to throw the ball.
Their departures.
Daryl Henderson.
Didn't know he was there.
He exists.
Marvin Jones, Dan Arnold, Saints legend. Chris Manhertz, Jawan Taylor went to the Chiefs.
That hurts him a little bit.
Yeah, but he brought in a tackle with the first-round pick. Arden Key to the Titans. Shaquille Griffin to the Texans. I don't really know why they got rid of him. Who'd they replace him with? We'll see. Looking at the Jags. Depth chart. Touchdown Jesus, QB1. Took the step last year. Can he take that next step and start getting in that like top 5 range? Top 5 talk.
I think he's already in the top 5 talk. No, we did 10, didn't we, for quarterbacks?
No, we did 5.
We did 5?
We did 5, not named Mahomes.
So I think I must have had him up.
Well, I mean, you got Mahomes, Burrow, Allen. Then who? Hurts should, and then there's an argument for
I had him at 3.
Wow. Colin Cowherd made a quote. Was that today? Did you see it?
No, what'd he say?
That Trevor Lawrence is the most important young player in the NFL.
It's not a bad take.
No, well, he said that if it wasn't for Trevor Lawrence, the Jags would be in London in 5 years.
Huh?
He said now they're in Jacksonville for 20.
It's also a big thing for high school and college recruiting.
Yeah.
Like, people had him as the most can't miss prospect ever.
Yeah.
And if he goes to the NFL and screws up,
yeah, that's very true.
You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Running back Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby, JaMychal Hasty, Dearness Johnson. Good running back room.
Tanks will touch the ball inside the 10.
Yes. Running back. Wide receivers. Christian Kirk. Great year last year after getting the biggest wide receiver contract ever or something. Made it look like an actual smart investment while people laughed at him. Calvin Ridley, gonna have a great year. So talented. Never really had the opportunity in Atlanta because Matt Ryan became not good. Zay Jones, also great year last year. Jamal Agnew is a returner. Don't want him as your 4th receiver. The top 3 need to stay healthy.
Yeah. And then you got Evan Ingram, who's more of a wide receiver than a tight end anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Then you got the fullback. You got Anton Harrison on the right side, Walker Little on the left side. He's a young guy, right?
I don't know him.
Yeah, Stanford 2021 second-round pick. So it looks like he'll fill in for Cam Robinson, who's suspended like always. Ben Barch, Brandon Scherf at guard. Really good guard duo. Solid O-line, which is something. Oh, they have Samuel Jackson at 4th string left guard. Gotta have a lot of guards. Gotta have Sam Jackson on your team. But it's a good O-line for a team that needs that, and you usually don't see a good O-line behind. When you have that young quarterback, as we mentioned with the Texans, that's something very important to have. And
so, yeah, good for them for actually getting one.
Yeah, definitely. And Doug Peterson, head coach, you got to throw that in there.
Yep.
Great last year. I don't know how to say that left DN right there. Follow Runso Fatukasi. Devon Hamilton, Roy Robertson Harris. D-line group isn't nothing great.
No, it's not.
But you do have, you're in a 3-4 system, so you got Josh Allen on one side and Trayvon Walker on the other. Trayvon Walker, the number 1 pick who got laughed at, but was very, very good last year. Yeah, he was very good. Devin Lloyd on the inside. Olakun as well. Chad Muma. Good linebacking core.
Caleb
Chason. Yep. Shaquille Quarterman as well from Miami. Their linebackers are great. I like the linebackers. You did lose Shaquille Griffin in the secondary. Tyson Campbell, though. Darius Williams from L.A.
That's from Rams, like 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah, he's a little man. I remember him.
Yep. And he's the only person I remember from that season of Hard Knocks.
Yep. Trey Herndon, feels like he's been there for a while. Safety, Rayshawn Jenkins, Andre Sisco. Nothing special, really, in the secondary. That's definitely a weakness.
Also not facing great quarterbacks.
Facing C.J. Stroud and them Texans.
Yeah.
But this defense goes as far as Trayvon Walker and Josh Allen take them.
This defense is built to stop Derrick Henry.
Saxonville.
It's built to stop Derrick Henry.
Yeah. But I mean, if Allen and Walker can be those,
and Jonathan Taylor.
If Allen and Walker can be those double-digit type sack guys like they can and probably will, then you think this defense will find success.
Yeah.
Brandon McManus at kicker, good vet. Let's look at their schedule. We got at Indianapolis, week 1.
See, this is just horrible.
What?
They got Kansas City
Oh.
and Buffalo in the first 5 weeks.
Indeed they do. But both are at home. Oh,
Yeah.
no, one's across the water.
Buffalo.
Yeah, it's in wait,
London.
are they back-to-back in London? They have a London doubleheader.
I'll be.
Okay, I mean, it's their home away from home.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. I've never seen that. It's got to be a first, right?
Yeah, definitely. They'll probably just. They'll definitely stay.
If they fly back, that'll be hilarious.
They'll be in London for like
3 weeks.
10 days.
Probably more than that. They'll probably arrive.
Yeah.
They'll play that Sunday, September 24th
They'll fly
game.
out Monday evening.
Monday or Tuesday, yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, you'll be there for 2 weeks.
That's crazy. And they're not taking the bye week after.
Nah, they're coming home and not getting adjusted to the time zone.
Jeez. Well, they're playing at home at least. That's good.
Yeah, still,
that's only a
weird.
4-hour difference, I think.
And the Colts. At the Colts versus the Chiefs. That's an interesting game early on. Versus the Texans, versus the Falcons and Bills back-to-back in London. So weird. Versus the Colts again. So you're done with the Colts by week 6. Good for if you're a Jacksonville fan because you think Richardson's going to take some time to get used to the NFL. Versus the Saints on Prime Video. I like that. That'll be a fun night in New Orleans.
Halloween time approaching, too.
Yeah.
Dome will be rocking.
You leave New Orleans and you go to Pittsburgh. That's a tough back-to-back. But then you get your bye week, and you're welcomed after your bye week with San Francisco. Versus the Titans.
Second half's a lot better.
In terms of easy?
Yes.
You think?
That's where their wins are.
I don't know. You play the AFC North. Back-to-back-to-back. You're losing all 3 of those.
I don't think they'll lose all 3.
Maybe not.
They'll win one they're not supposed to win because other teams going to be overlooking it.
Yeah. Versus Tennessee at Houston. Versus Cincy on Monday night in Jacksonville. That'd be a cool game. Then at Cleveland. And then freaking primetime again in Jacksonville versus Baltimore. At Tampa versus Carolina. At Tennessee. What's that line? 9.5?
Yeah.
I think I like the under.
So who's going to win the division? One of them's got to get 10
They
wins.
might get 9, but I think the Texans might get 7. That's going to be crazy. Whenever I read off their roster, it didn't blow me away like I thought it was going to. I thought they were a better team than they were.
They are. It's just they overperformed a little bit. Trevor took the step. You know what I mean? Like he took the next step.
They're gonna have to be a top 5 offense if they're gonna win.
And they could be.
They could be.
Kirk and Calvin are gonna be a great duo.
Kirk and Calvin's great. Zay Jones is great. Evan Ingram's was good last year. ETN if he can stay healthy, good running back. Touchdown Jesus looked like he took the step. We mentioned the O-line. The offense is great. Defense not so much. Don't know how the defense is going to hold up playing Kansas City, playing Buffalo, playing Cincy, Baltimore, San Fran, New Orleans, Mike Tomlin. It's going to be tough. I might take the under there. I really do. But it feels like you said, someone's got to win 10.
Somebody's going.
No one won 10 in the NFC South last year. Bucks had 9.
Playing Indy early is key for them.
Yeah, and Indy will not win week 6.
No.
So that means Indy's going to have to win their Anthony Richardson's debut.
with possibly no Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. Will the roof be open?
I think more likely than not, no Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
I think he's just about guaranteed not to play week 1.
I would say that's probably true.
I mean, it is August 16th. He has less than a month to get in game shape. I mean, yeah, that's what's different about football. There's running, like just running shape, and then there's game shape.
Yeah.
He ain't in game shape. He ain't ready to take those hits yet.
Yeah, and whatever is going on with the personal matter now as well. Don't know what that's going to be, but yeah, I don't. It's a tough line.
Yeah,
you would think that they win double-digit games, but
they're either going to win 9 or 10.
I think so.
I think that's the perfect line.
Yeah, I'll take the under though, but I still want to believe
you're pessimistic about
hype. Yeah. But I also love Calvin Ridley. So, all right, that's it for that. Let's do our Dirty Five and get out of here.
All right, who else sent it?
I know I have Josh. Let me read his. So, our Dirty Five linebackers. Josh, number 5, Levante David. Number 4, Bobby Wagner. Number 3, Demario Davis. Number 2, Roquan Smith. And number 1, Fred Warner. It almost feels like we should have done this excluding Fred Warner.
Yeah. Probably. Have I told you about his wife's TikTok?
I think I've seen it.
It's a good TikTok account to follow.
I think I have seen it.
She does a lot of good stuff, like talking about like day of games and stuff.
Yeah.
I love that crap, dude.
I've seen
Juwan Johnson's.
There's there's like a light skinned receiver, like Chase
Michael
Claypool,
Pittman,
maybe.
Michael Pittman's wife.
Might be Pittman.
Michael Pittman's wife definitely does.
Peyton, Matt Milano, number 5, Levante David, Demario Davis, and in parentheses, one of the most underrated players in the league.
1000%.
Roquan Smith, Fred Warner. Mine, Matt Milano, Demario Davis, Levante David, Roquan Smith, Fred Warner. Chance?
Mine, number 5, Foyesade Alukan.
Okay. Was he the tackles leader last year?
And the year before.
Okay. Colts?
Falcons. Then
wait, is
Jags.
he on the Jags now?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
The dude gets tackles. Like, he gets tackles. He almost hit 200 back-to-back years. Like, he was like 190 and like 180 something.
I don't put the names on these graphics. No one's going to know who the crap that is.
No, that's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. He's legit, man. Click on him.
No, I know who he is. And I mentioned earlier the Joe Schoberts, the Blake Martinez's. He's different than that.
Yes.
He's from Yale.
The exception.
Yeah, he's an actual good football player while being a very good tackler.
Yeah.
192. He had 90 assists in 21. That's insane.
He's a good football player.
Yeah.
Number 4, Demario Davis. Like Peyton said, he's extremely underrated.
Yes. I don't know where my man of God,
Hall of Famer.
My man of God headband. I don't know where it went.
Borderline Hall of Famer, I think.
Yeah.
3, Roquan Smith. 2, no doubt Hall of Famer Bobby Wagner.
Oh, no Levante. Wow.
Number 1, Fred Warner.
Wow, hating on Levante.
He's a buck. Screw him.
Levante's great, though.
I know.
All right, I like it. That is it for this. Minute 12. No, wow, hour 12.
I forgot to do the thing again.
Any of it?
The freaking after the Jags. I forgot to put the end of the.
Oh, well, that wasn't 5 minutes. Yeah. Put like 108. Put it.
Okay.
108, 109 or something like
I'm
that.
Tired.
I am exhausted. It's tough doing a 1 or 2 man pod up here, ain't it? Yeah. It helps a lot having 4 people, or 3 at least.
I'm drained.
Yeah, same. But that is it for this. A lot of content. It's a grind,
Bills.
but hey, man, football's so freaking close.
Go Bills.
Yeah, go Bills. Go Dolphins. Go Mike McDaniel. Go freaking Texans.
Undoubtedly.
I might buy a hat.
This might be our team this year, Clay.
I think it is. It might be my team for the next couple years with D'Amico there. So, all right, that is it.
This ain't how it's supposed to be. It should be just you and me. I feel